What is happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I'm JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dub. With our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
Well, JJ Wang. We are halfway through the fantasy regular season. How you doing, my friend?
I'm feeling a little better now. I was a little sick when I woke up this morning. I guess that's why we had to delay the podcast a little bit, but I'm feeling better now. Ready to talk about some football.
Sounds great. I'm glad to hear that. For those of you that want to talk to us, hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email us at thefantasycouriers@gmail.com. Leave some comments in YouTube. We're looking for the next big question. I got a question that we got actually on our website, thefantasycouriers.wixsite.com/website. It's not football related at all, but I will share it with you here as we get started. But we are looking to get up to 50 subscribers. So help us to get there. Help us to get to those 50 subscribers on YouTube. I think we are still stuck at 45. So we have a question. It's a really quick question on our website. It's from Birds Champ 52. Birds Champ 52 says, "Is being a girl dad scary or am I having right feelings about that? I am a little terrified." So a little background: your brother-in-law, just congratulations, you're an uncle again, and he's got a daughter and he's scared to death.
I mean, I have a daughter. I don't have a son, but I just think raising a kid in general is kind of scary. Either way, they both have their advantages, but it's more fun than scary.
Yeah, I say as a man though, we're more protective of those girls. I got both. I know the boy I love to death, but the girl I'm petrified for. It's always, that it's just a dad to man thing. We're petrified for the girls. It's a great experience. You got that right. So don't stress. And if it gets too stressful, feel free to respond to that trade-off wrestling team, and we'll see what we can get through there as we go on. But let's jump into week 7. We are halfway there. I don't know about you, but I was looking. I have a surprise team. I mentioned on the podcast I took up this orphan team. And I thought the team was going to be a dumpster fire. Prior to the season, I traded away Tyreek Hill to get a boat ton of draft picks, traded away Hawkinson for some draft picks. I am setting at 5-2 with a 2-game lead in my division. And halfway through the season in this league, and I'm like the number 3 team in the league with 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years.
I mean, that's the great thing about fantasy. I mean, you just never know. I mean, you just get the right combination of players. I mean, that's why we play so many leagues. I mean, there's just as many combinations, just get as many combinations as possible and hope one of them hit.
But
plus you got all those draft picks coming up. I mean, you're in prime position.
Let's be honest, it's just Tom Brady on that team that did it for me. And I also have a cool bragging point for the week. We know it was Bipocalypse, the end of the world. In a Dynasty League, the two of us we have a 28-man roster spot. I had literally 2 guys on my bench that weren't out or on bye week, and I still put up, I still won this week. I pulled off a victory, throwing in whoever was alive to play on my team and picking up Case Keenum. It was quite and realistically, one team I picked up the Colts defense for next week, so I dropped, I think, Mo Alley Cox or something that was, it'd been a couple points, but yeah, so I had 19 points on my bench and 0 from everybody else. It's kind of a win.
Yeah, I think in that same league, I think I had DK. I needed DK to score like 18, 19 points. And he's get that first touchdown. That's like 16 points right there. I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. And he gets one catch for 12 yards the rest of the way. That's fantastic. Lose by a point.
I've never seen something so pathetic as just watching them. It's like they don't want Gino to throw the ball. They were like, "We're gonna run. It's 3rd and 13. We're gonna run. It's 3rd and 20. We're gonna run." It was just kind of sad to see. But yeah, some bad news going into this week. Luckily, I guess there's a lot of injuries that went into the week, but we only came out with 2 fairly big injuries moving forward here. So one of them I know is near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, we had Zach Wilson with a knee sprain. He's out 2 to 4 weeks, and then we had Miles Sanders with the ankle sprain. He's out 3 weeks. I don't think neither one of them were providing much fantasy value either way. Sanders was doing okay at times. Zach Wilson wasn't playing very well at all. I think they traded for Joe Flacco to bring him in
Yeah.
as the starter. So it's the Jets. But I think, like I said, uh, not really much fantasy relevance here. So that's actually a good thing for the week. This week you're not coming in with 19 injuries.
Well,
Um,
it's because we went into the weekend, AB dropping it. We had that laundry
yeah,
list over the weekend that you didn't need them afterwards because nobody played this week. There were like, what, 12 games? And not even that. I don't think. Every how many games there weren't that many games. Half the guys that were playing were injured before the week started. So it doesn't matter. Oh, and I guess the other big news would be Devontae Adams
uh,
tested positive for COVID. This is big news for me because they play Thursday.
and so did Allen. Evidently, Allen Lazard did as well.
Oh, I did see that he got put on. I didn't see why as I was coming into
Yes, I
recording it.
seen. I don't think he's playing Thursday either. So that really slims down their wide receiving core.
Would that mean looking way ahead? Would you pick up Equinemius St. Brown? Would you figure Randall Cobb's gonna have a good night, right?
Maybe that. What's the rookie's name that they Amani? What was the rookie's name that they had? That fly. I guess the guy. I guess it's the
Oh,
guy.
Amari Rogers.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I got
Maybe.
him. Yeah, I forgot about him. He's done so
maybe
bad.
maybe he might get some play.
Yeah, so but the good news, if you are a Devontae Adams owner, just keep your eyes open. Apparently, he is vaccinated, and according to the protocol, if he is asymptomatic and within 24 hours gets two negative tests, it is still a possibility he could play on Thursday. I think more than likely he's not, but being that he did, I believe was it Monday night he came in, he was, I think yesterday, Monday, he showed up with it. So there's a couple days and a possibility if you're hearing this prior to Thursday that he could still play, but who knows. But yeah, week 7 was a I hate to admit I wasn't the diehard watcher I could have been. I spent time with my kids. I was dressed up like Santa Claus, giving out candy to people at trunk or treat on Sunday. I had my phone on there. I was watching some of the games. Santa was standing in front of a bunch of children cheering as the Dolphins scored a touchdown to go ahead. And then Santa got really sad because apparently pass interference for a bajillion yards and a field goal causes the Dolphins to continue to stink up the world. But Santa was still celebrating his boy Tua having I mean, 7 touchdowns in 2 weeks versus two porous defenses. What does that mean? I don't know.
We'll find. We'll find out. We thought Teddy Bridgewater was doing okay there too in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but Gesicki seems to be on the uptick. If you are looking at a guy from that league, if you can trade for it, you need a tight end. He might be a sneaky one to pick up. He celebrated National Tight Ends Day with a heck of a day, looking like he was the Gesicki that I thought he was when he was picked. Like I loved that draft pick years ago, and he looks really solid. Speaking of interesting, solid draft picks, we went into the year going, you know what, this Trey Sermon kid is going to be a beast. I was all on the train because the comp I always heard to Trey Sermon was Le'Veon Bell with the patience behind the line. I was like, sweet. So I have Trey Sermon all over the place, but just in case I picked up Elijah Mitchell. And apparently Shanahan said, by Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell's the man. 18 carries, 107 yards, and a touchdown. Even in the loss, he looks like he might be the bell cow.
Yeah, I mean he's the guy. The only downside is that he's not that really receiving back.
Yeah.
They had Hasty was coming in doing some of the catches.
Straight up third down all the time.
Yeah, so I mean if he's going to be getting 18 carries a game, I mean that's the guy that we want. That the number one running back in the 49ers offense. So yeah, I'm excited. I picked him up in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
I drafted him in a lot of places. I was excited about him. But yeah, I thought Trey Sermon would be better than this. Evidently, he made Shanahan really mad. Him and Ayuk must have done something together that made him really, really mad at him. But yeah, I'm all aboard Mitchell. I'm probably going to play from here on out.
Yeah, he's in my starting lineup. I've been rocking him. I hesitantly put him back in this week, thinking he's coming back. What are they going to do? Are they going to split it more? The Colts defense isn't bad, and thank goodness I did. He rolled me through the disaster of a week. Ayuk's still sitting on the bench. He can't do diddly squat on my one team. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, but he won them, man.
Hopefully, oh my goodness. But going to I think this weekend's honest shock was the Chiefs and the Titans. The Chiefs laid a big stinky egg. The Titans just rolled them, and they rolled them, interestingly enough, with Derrick Henry only averaging 3 yards a run. I mean, he did throw for a touchdown, so thank goodness for that for us Henry owners. We got shellacked, but they beat the snot out of the Chiefs. The Chiefs weren't there. Mahomes went down. Apparently, he has the most amazing brain that he recovered from a concussion within like 3 minutes and was able to play again, but he didn't. But what is this more a testament to? Are the Chiefs that big of a mess, or is it time for the hard-nosed Titans to step it up?
And I think the Titans are just that solid regular season team where they just grind out victories. I mean when it comes to the playoffs, they're probably not going to make it that far just because I don't think they have the passing attack. But, they're just like that slug. That just drag you out. And then the Chiefs, I have no idea what to think. I mean, maybe their luck's just running out. I mean, Pat Mahomes isn't making all those random plays that he was making are now turnovers. I mean, that's all that's all it takes. But yeah, he had a dreadful game. I guess that's probably the worst game he's ever played. But I mean, it's definitely I think they're under 500 again.
Four and three, four.
I don't want to say either way, but I mean, definitely
They,
doesn't look good.
they had 5 non-quarterback or Tyreek Hill rushing attempts. Darrell Williams rushed the ball 5 times. Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill had 1. Mahomes had 6, and Henne had 1. It's like they abandoned it. I mean, they were down, 27-0 at halftime, but
Yeah.
still, there's got to be a point where you got to get them guessing. But a lot of what I'm hearing from people was it seems like he's afraid to dink and dunk when that could be his bread and butter with this team. With you got Kelsey, you can curl there and then give it to Hill and see what he can do with it. Maybe it is time to see what you have with Hardman. He had a couple of decent catches when he's in there, and he's a fast guy too. So maybe you got to give these guys dink and dunks and just let them run their brains out. I don't know. I mean, but on the bright side, welcome to the NFL, AJ Brown. Welcome back. It's been kind of a I have a couple shares and I've wanted to throw him down the garbage heap because I'm really mad at him. But wow, what a good week. Thank you very much, sir. You helped my team that had 18 guys on bye win.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to be back to that guy, I mean, that's what's going to make that offense, return to the way it was last week when you got that real receiving threat. Julio's still not playing much. I think he only had 2 catches.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably going to be Julio all year. But I mean, if AJ Brown can play like that, because people are so worried about Derrick Henry, I mean they could make some noise.
Before we move to the next one, I did see it odd in one of my leagues, a dynasty league that I talked about where my team's magically 5-2. A guy actually just traded for Julio. He gave up a second and a third round rookie pick for Julio Jones. And I was like, I didn't understand it. So just sell him for the name, I guess.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think he's probably maybe. I probably wouldn't give a second for Julio at this point.
Yeah, no, maybe a sixth, but I don't even have those. But speaking of teams, there's another team that's 3-4 that I believe is moving in the opposite direction of the Chiefs. They just started slow, and that would be the Colts. The Colts are winning. Carson Wentz had a Jameis-like game, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, but Jonathan Taylor was just clobbering everybody he ran into. But they just looked so much better than the 49ers, I guess you would say, watching that game. And the 49ers are no chump team. They're a decent squad, but they're 2-4. But the Colts have just turned it around. All they needed to do was beat my Dolphins, and
Yeah.
it's been all uphill from there. Do you think the Colts? I mean, well, look, two-part. This is a fantasy show, not an NFL show. Do you think we can trust the Colts? So we're looking at basically Carson Wentz, Jonathan Taylor, and Pittman are the bell cows. I mean, if you're desperate, Mo Alley Cox is getting a touchdown every week.
I actually had to play him in the league.
I almost did. I dumped him in a league instead of playing him, but I should have. It's 25 and a touch, so that's what 8 points
Yeah, I mean, it helped me
plus
win.
catches. But are these guys you're trusting now, right, for the rest of the season?
I think you can trust him. I think Carson Wentz is at QB2. I mean, he's playing
Mhm.
solid, not turning the ball over. I think Jonathan Taylor is definitely that RB1. I mean, you're definitely going to put him in there. And Pittman, it seems when he's the guy and they're giving him targets, he produces. Now, when say what's the T.Y. Hilton comes back for 3/4 of a game and takes away all the targets and then gets hurt again, he drops down. But when you throw Pittman the ball, I mean, we see what happens. He's getting all the targets, then he produces. I think you can trust all 3 of them.
Hey, honest question. I have a league where I mentioned Jerry Judy is sitting on the waivers. Would you rather have Michael Pittman, Antonio Brown, or Jerry Judy? You got to have 2 of those 3.
I mean, I would definitely take Antonio Brown. And right now, I would probably take Pittman with him being the guy and just kind of scared of how the Broncos are playing right now. But I would definitely try to pick him up though if you
I
could.
have nowhere else to put him. It's a
Uh,
5 receiver.
yeah,
You can only roster 5 receivers. I have
uh,
DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, and somebody else who's really good is my other receiver. and then those two were my other spots. So I had to decide that those were my choices. So, but yeah, so the Colts I think are up and coming, and I believe now you have a nice little special spot here we're looking at mid-season before we go into surefire waste of a touchdown.
Yeah, it's a little another quick hitter game. I'm gonna give you some names and their where they're currently at in their rankings. I think I just did the basic PPR. They're pretty close. Just see got a question or two here and throw it out there. So the first one we are we talked about Mahomes already. He's got the 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns. He does got the 9 interceptions. But I wanted to bring up Joe Burrow. Well, Mahomes is actually the QB number 4 at the moment, and then we got Joe Burrow, who's actually QB 8. His numbers are pretty similar. He's got one less touchdown, a few less yards. But would you prefer Joe Burrow over Mahomes rest of the season if you had to choose?
No, I'm a stubborn old country. I like what I know. And Joe Burrow is up and coming. I think in a year or two, those two will be neck and neck. Could very easily be neck and neck. The Bengals looked stinking amazing, and I remember a preseason show where we were talking about how bad they looked. I said they're going to come out like they're on fire,
Yeah.
and it took them a little while, but now they're they're on fire. But I think Mahomes is the devil,
Yep.
and Burrow is going to soon be the devil, and he's a great quarterback. I mean, if you're talking about 4-8, so it's not like we're
Yeah, I mean,
splitting
yeah,
hairs here.
that's
But
fair.
yeah, I would still take Mahomes any day.
Yeah, I mean it's close. Burrow's coming, especially.
He
I know
runs.
he might be jumping to conclusions here, with Mahomes just having a bad game, but
Mhm.
Burrow's close, man. He's looking great. And that may be because of the next guy I'm going to bring up in Jamar Chase. Had a huge day yesterday. He's got the most yards by a rookie so far in his career. So he's got 754, 35 touchdowns. He's currently the wide receiver 3. And then I
Wow.
got Debo Samuel, who's currently the wide receiver 6. I mean, he's got 648 yards, another 4 touchdowns. He also has a rushing. So looking at these two guys, do you see Chase finishing as a top 3 wide receiver, and do you see Debo maybe dropping down to around that top 12 area?
Wow. Both of those guys are higher. If you'd asked me where they ranked, I would never have put them that high because the consist. I think the two big games really just catapulted them up there
Yep.
so quickly. I could see both of them. Wide receivers is so tough because another somebody has a big game, they're going to catapult over both those guys. I see Chase finishing the season higher than Debo because I have a feeling that if the 49ers keep stinking, Trey Lance is going to come into the team and Debo will still be good, but I don't think his numbers will be as stellar as they are with Jimmy G because he's Jimmy G's guy. And he's still loved by Trey Lance, but I think it'll take some growing pains with him once that comes in. So Debo will still, prediction would be Debo will finish still within the top 15 at the worst,
Yep.
probably top 12.
Right. Yeah,
And
that's what I
Jamar
think.
Chase, I think he could easily finish top 8.
Yeah, I was thinking Debo, around that top 12 area, and then I think Chase is going to stay around that 3 to 5 range. I don't think the Bengals aren't going to throw it any less. They're going to continue to throw it, and he's obviously the guy. Even though Higgins did get 15 targets, so good for him. He's also involved. So I got 2 running backs. I got Damien Harris, who's currently running back 16,
Boy,
437 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's also got 10 catches for 60 yards. And then the other guy is Antonio Gibson. He's currently RB 17, 408 yards, 3 touchdowns. And plus, he's got the 124 yards receiving and a touchdown. So looking at these two guys, Harris obviously on the way up. Gibson looks to be trending down. Can you see Harris finishing as around that top 12 running back, and Gibson maybe falling to that round number 24 running back?
easily, easily. The stat that shocked me this week that was that it could be game script, but did you hear JD McKissick outsnapped Gibson 46-30?
I know.
And this kills both of us. And it's we might as well just quit this whole fantasy thing. We start this year, we hitched our wagon to that Gibson train, uh, and that train is derailing fairly quick. Like he's looking like what I thought he was going to be last year, and this year I jumped on and I should have stayed off of that wagon, man. It's killing me in one league as well, but I don't know. It just seems like we fell for the Ron Rivera. he's going to be the CMC. I mean, we knew he wasn't going to be CMC, but we thought he would be a heck of a lot better than this. And something doesn't seem right. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Heineke play with the way Heineke plays. It could be that. I don't know. Damien Harris is coming on at the right times. They're both trending opposite directions. If Harris is, to me, he's like Elijah Mitchell. Those two could be a good comp for each other. I would gamble Elijah Mitchell's probably about the same place as Harris is, if not probably a little bit behind him because of the missing the week, but and not starting initially. But I think he's trending up. He could easily be top 12, whereas Gibson top 24, unless something changes on that Washington football team, it's not looking good.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think Harris is definitely trending up. Gibson's going down. All right, I got one more quick one for you. This one's going to be close to you, so we're going to go tight ends real quick. All right. So we got
Tight ends, baby.
So we got Darren Waller, who's
Oh,
33 receptions for 378 yards. He's tight end 8 at the moment. And then we got my boy. I guess he is yours now. We got Kyle Pitts, who's currently the tight end 7 with 471 yards and a touchdown. Do you see Pitts finishing better than Waller by the end of the year?
there was a show I talked about doing with you earlier in the season, guys that are going to make us look stupid. And one of the guys I was going to say is I wasn't on the Kyle Pitts, and I had a feeling Kyle Pitts is going to make me look stupid. And boy, is he doing a great job of that. It helps that Calvin really stinking it up. But oh man, that's a tough one to think about with Waller. And I think it's going to depend upon, is Waller going to be healthy at all? Foster Moreau had a decent week. So that means the tight end receptions are still there for the Raiders. That I think if Waller is healthy, he'll be slightly better than Pitts for the rest of the year, because I think there's going to be there's going to be eventually I think people are going to start double putting 2 linebackers on him, a linebacker as safety. They're going to be like, dude, this guy's really good. We thought he'd have that rookie tight end thing. The Dolphins decided not to. And so he ran, he got 168 yards, whatever it was, 100, way too many yards for a tight end. That I think Waller, I'm going to stick with Waller. I think it's going to be closer than I would have guessed 3 months ago. But and plus, there's also, we don't know what's going to happen with these rookies because there's an extra week. These rookies are used to, I mean, last year they didn't play a full season. Most of them didn't play a full season anyway. So they're not going to be conditioned to the strains of the NFL. So we don't know if there going to be a rookie wall this year. Most rookies hit it. Is he going to hit it, or is he a generational? So I'm gonna give Waller ever so slightly. I'm just glad you didn't say Gesicki.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have gone that way. Maybe I'll throw him in.
He'll be right there with them, like the way he's playing right now. Easily, those three could be what, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I'd go with Pitts at the moment, but yeah, probably Gesicki right behind him and then Waller.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's how I would see. I think Pitts could be the number 1 guy by the end of the year.
No, he won't be I don't think he'll be number 1. I think Kelsey, they'll get back to the dink and dunk. I think Kelsey will set himself back into that spot. And I don't think he'll get that high. I mean, Pitts could easily be 2, maybe 3.
All it's going to take is that 150-yard game with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
he'll be number 1 wide receiver.
He got a touchdown this week. He would have been like through the roof. Like, it was amazing. So here's our favorite segment of the week. I only got a couple of them this week. This because there were so few games. The guys that were supposed to score pretty much scored. I think it would be welcome to Surefire Waste of a Touchdown. Let's go to my favorite game of the week. We had the Miami Dolphins playing the Atlanta Falcons, and what I did say there would be points scored. So I got something right about that game. There was a 10-yard receiving touchdown. We know it's Jalen Waddle. He's turning around to his favorite target. Oh, wait, that's Isaiah Ford scoring his first NFL touchdown. That is definitely a
surefire waste of a touchdown.
Let's stick in that game. Former Philadelphia Eagle, pretty much a special teamer. Oh, wait, no, wait. Is that Jalen Waddle? Another 4-yard touchdown? Or is that Mike Gesicki? That's got to be Gesicki, big guy. Nope, that's Mac Hollins, 4-yard receiving touchdown.
Surefire waste of a touchdown.
Oh, it's the Washington football team versus the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams, 10-yard touchdown. Oh, wait, no, that's the newly COVID positive Allen Lazard. Oh, what a
But I will say before I say that, I did start Alan Lazard in the league,
Because you
so
had
it
to.
kind of helped me. But other than that, the surefire waste of a
I
touchdown.
mean, some of these guys might have been started because they had to. Cincinnati Bengals are demolishing the Baltimore Ravens. There goes Joe Mixon down the sideline, 46-yard rushing. Oh, no, that's not. That's is that Samaje Perine scoring a 46-yard rushing touchdown? Oh, that is definitely.
Surefire waste of a touchdown.
Oh, and let's go to the golf bowl, the Golf Stafford Bowl, the game of the week, the Detroit Lions versus the Los Angeles Rams. We have Cooper Kupp ready to possibly break Randy Moss's record this year at the rate he's scoring. That's a 7-yard touch. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Van Jefferson? Oh, another Van Jefferson sighting. Poor Cooper Kupp, poor Robert Woods. That is definitely a.
Surefire waste of a touchdown.
So as we close out here this week, we got a couple of pickups. My pickups are pretty much guys that two of them you that were sitting there like, I don't think I should pick those guys up, and one that he's probably going to be the waiver wire pickup of the week. So I'm going to go with this week. I should have started him. I said Tampa Bay is not good, is going to demolish the Bears. They did, but apparently rookie Herbert decided he was going to rush for 100 and some odd yards. If he's on your waiver wire, you might as well pick him up till Montgomery comes back, right?
Yeah, if he's there, I think he probably still got maybe 2 weeks. I think till
Yeah.
I'm not really sure on that. Don't quote me.
I've heard
But yeah,
rumor of a split too.
but whenever he until Montgomery comes back, Herbert's obviously the guy. He's playing well. 100 yards against the Buccaneers. Good for him. I got him. I'm starting him.
Yeah. And then also a name that we've seen him. Everybody's like, don't pick him up. CJ Uzoma. I always say his name wrong. Tight end for the Cincinnati Bengals. Hey, if they're gonna put up points, he's probably gonna catch some every now and then. So if you are in tight end purgatory like most everybody is these days, grab him.
Yeah, if you want to be part of a good offense, it's more that's the offense to be a part of, and everybody's getting touches. So if he's out there, tight ends are very scary.
Yeah, my last guy is probably going to be the pickup of the week. Kenny Gainwell is probably going to be the scat back for the team, and then I'm guessing Boston Scott will be the next 2 week starter for the Eagles. So if you see Boston Scott there, grab him, throw him on there. Might as well start him. He's going to be available to play. So you got your pickup of the week. I like him. So JJ Wang had his waiver wire pickup of the week is Brandon Bowden from the New England Patriots. You got to love technology these days. We're sitting here recording the podcast and his computer completely kaputzed out of there. So JJ Wang has bid us a farewell. He'll be here on Friday. So check out New England Patriots running back. Bowden is getting some of those receptions. He would be a great pickup for you to grab. So as we get through waivers for the week and you're getting ready for week 8 and the Thursday night game, remember to always trust yourself and trust the process.